Here's a question that's going to make you uncomfortable. When was the last time you felt truly powerful, confident, and sexually magnetic in your own home? If you can't remember, or if that feeling has been slowly dying over months or years of sexual rejection, you're about to discover the real reason why. It's not your fault, and it's definitely not about trying harder to please her. There's a biological mechanism at work that no one talks about, and once you understand it, everything about your relationship dynamic will suddenly make perfect sense. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how rejection is hijacking your hormones, killing your edge, and turning you into a numb roommate. You're not sexually inadequate, you're hormonally hijacked. Stay with me, because I'll also give you the 90-day boundary that ends this trap. Alpha lens mindset here. Let's break it down. Listen, your body isn't overreacting to rejection. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do under threat. Most men think their sex drive just disappeared. They blame age, stress, or their own body. But that's not what's happening. Every rejection is triggering a chemical chain reaction that actively suppresses the very hormone that's supposed to keep you driven, sharp, and ready. Every time you reach for her and she rejects you, your nervous system doesn't log a polite, "No thanks." It logs danger. It spikes cortisol, your main stress hormone. And here's the brutal part. Cortisol and testosterone don't coexist peacefully. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. So night after night, refusal after refusal, your body keeps dumping cortisol. Chronic stress becomes your baseline. Over time, your testosterone starts to tank. You feel weaker, softer, less driven. You don't just lose your sex drive, you lose your masculine edge. Then you start doubting yourself. Maybe I'm just not attracted to her anymore. Maybe I'm broken. No, you're chemically suppressed. Let me tell you what most men miss. It's not just testosterone. Your bonding system takes a hit too. In a healthy relationship, when you reach for intimacy and it's received, your brain releases oxytocin and vasopressin, bonding chemicals. They wire you to feel close, protective, affectionate. Here's the cruel twist most men never see coming. Your brain thinks it's protecting you. But the way it protects you is by slowly making it impossible to bond with the one person you're supposed to be closest to. So when she suddenly wants to hug you after months of rejection, it doesn't feel safe. It feels wrong. When you keep reaching and getting slapped away, verbally or just with cold indifference, your brain adapts. It starts down-regulating oxytocin receptors. Translation: your system literally stops listening for bonding signals because bonding equals pain. This is why, after enough rejection, even if she suddenly offers a hug or wants to snuggle, it feels off. It feels forced, abrasive, like you're being handled rather than loved. Your biology has learned connection with her is dangerous. Do not attach. And it doesn't stop at sex. Your brain isn't great at separating sexual and emotional intimacy. It lumps them together. So when reaching for sex hurts, it tags every form of closeness as risky. Hand-holding, hugging, even deep conversations. At first you were affectionate. You brushed past her in the kitchen, you kissed her neck, you reached for her hand. After a year of not tonight, of her stiffening up when you touch her, your brain starts protecting you. You go numb, you stop initiating, you tell yourself you're just tired. That's not tired. That's your nervous system shutting doors to stop the bleeding. Most men think the damage stops there. Less touch, less sex, more distance. They don't realize the real wreckage is happening at night, when their body is supposed to be rebuilding their masculinity and instead is getting silently drained. In a bonded sexual relationship, orgasm followed by oxytocin and prolactin helps you sleep deeply. Oxytocin helps your body create GABA and melatonin, calms cortisol, and resets your system. That doesn't happen in a sexless marriage. You lie next to the one woman who should be your safe place, feeling rejected and on edge. Cortisol stays high. Oxytocin stays low. Your REM sleep gets trashed. You wake up foggy, unrefreshed, and your testosterone production, which happens mostly at night, crashes even harder. Here's where it gets dangerous. Your brain does not care about your vows, it cares about reward. If the place that was supposed to be your sanctuary turns into a reward desert, your brain will start hunting for relief somewhere else, and it will drag you with it whether you morally approve or not. Then dopamine steps in. Normally, your home should be where your brain expects reward, affection, appreciation, sex, peace. When you live in a roommate dynamic, your brain learns the opposite. No matter what you do, there's no reward here. So dopamine stops firing for home, for her, for the relationship. Instead, it starts searching for hits elsewhere: food, porn, work, games, fantasies. Not because you're a degenerate, but because your brain is starving for a sense of reward and relief. I worked with a guy who started as the affectionate, engaged husband. A year of rejection later, he looked and felt like a zombie. He'd sit on the couch, scrolling, barely speaking. He thought he'd fallen out of love. What actually happened? Cortisol was choking his testosterone. Oxytocin was shut down. Sleep was wrecked. His dopamine system had rerouted away from his wife toward anything that didn't reject him. There's one more grenade most men don't see: thyroid function. Chronic stress isn't just in your head, it hits your metabolism. Over time, that constant cortisol load can blunt thyroid activity. You feel sluggish, gain weight around the gut, lose energy, and the man in the mirror looks less and less like someone a woman would want. That compounds the shame. So now you've got low testosterone, blunted bonding, fried sleep, broken reward circuits, and a sluggish metabolism. You start to believe the story. Of course she doesn't want me. Look at me. But here's the truth. You didn't randomly fall apart. You've been living in a biochemical war zone. You weren't weak, you were under constant hormonal attack. And this is where it stops being about just sex. Because when your hormones get rewritten like this, they don't just change what happens in the bedroom. They change how you see yourself as a man. When your hormones get hit like that, it doesn't just change how you feel. It changes who you think you are. Men don't measure themselves by poetry and promises. On a primal level, we measure ourselves by one brutal scoreboard. Are we desired by the woman we've chosen? Like it or not, women are the gatekeepers of sex and reproduction. Your nervous system knows this. So when your wife is eager for you, when she reaches for you, your brain reads that as, I'm a man, I matter, I'm chosen. Flip that. When the one woman on earth who's supposed to want you keeps saying no, or worse, looks irritated you even tried, your brain doesn't hear, I'm tired. It hears, you're not a man worth wanting. That's the male worthiness equation. Most guys won't say it out loud, but they feel it. Every not tonight, every flinch when you touch her, chips away at that inner crown. After months and years, that crown isn't dented. It's gone. This is how you go from husband to roommate. At first, you're still trying. You initiate. You flirt. You crack jokes. You reach for her in bed. She turns away or sighs or gives you the dead fish peck. Stage 1 is withdrawal. Your system learns every attempt equals pain. So you stop initiating, not because you don't care, but because you can't take another silent slap. You stop touching her in the kitchen. You stop kissing her when you leave. Your body language tightens. She feels that and often says, you're so distant lately. She has no idea her behavior trained you there. Then the resentment creeps in. This is where the roommate dynamic really locks in. You still pay the bills, you still fix the house, show up to family events, handle crises. But the question running in the background shifts from, how do I love her, to, what am I getting for what I give? That's the transactional stage. You're keeping score. You notice every time you show up and every time she doesn't. You say things like, I do everything around here, not because you suddenly turn selfish, but because your nervous system is trying to justify why it's staying in a starvation state. This is also when you start feeling like a tolerated tenant in your own home. You know that feeling. You walk in, she barely looks up from her phone. You fix something, no appreciation. You're there, but you're background noise. I worked with a man like this. Paid the mortgage, coached the kids, never missed a holiday. In his own words, he felt like a walking wallet with shoes on. No touch, no warmth, no desire, just tasks. That is what psychologists classify as covert emotional abuse. Not screaming, not hitting, but a pattern of withholding that starves you while pretending everything's fine. And let me be very clear, forcing sex is abuse too. This is not about demanding her body. The problem is the manipulative earn it setup. 17 hoops, years of when I feel like it, moving goalposts. That's what meets clinical criteria for psychological manipulation. Once you hit that point, your brain starts looking for a way out. Not always by cheating, but through fantasies, limerence, romantic daydreams. You catch yourself thinking about some woman at the gym, or an ex, or just an imaginary woman who actually lights up when you walk in the room. You're not proud of it, but those fantasies dump dopamine and oxytocin into a system that's starving. They become a pressure release valve. Your loyalty speeches don't stand a chance against raw biochemistry when home equals starvation. Here's the brutal truth. By the time you're deep in withdrawal, resentment, and fantasy, your identity as a man has been reprogrammed. You don't see yourself as a powerful partner. You see yourself as a burden, a nuisance, or a service provider. That's the murder of male identity, not in one blow but by 1,000 quiet dismissals. Now, if your body and your identity are both under attack, you don't fix that by begging harder, groveling, or reading another communication book. You respond like a man under siege, with a plan, with boundaries, and with a deadline. And that's where the 90-day counterattack comes in. Listen carefully. You are not broken, you are not low drive, too needy, or unmanly. You're a man living in a toxic hormonal environment, and your system is adapting to survive it. Your job now is simple. Get out of the blast zone. Not with drama, with standards. The 90-day counterattack starts with one thing most men are terrified to do: set a clear boundary with a clock on it. You're done hinting, you're done sulking, you're done silently dying. Most men know something is horribly off, but they have no idea if it's fixable or if they're wasting years on a dead relationship. There is a way to present your boundary that will instantly reveal which one you're in. Her response to this one move will tell you everything you need to know about whether there's a partner across from you or just a gatekeeper to your starvation. Here's the frame. Calm, scheduled, non-negotiable. You don't dump this on her in a fight or right before bed. You say, I need us to address our intimacy pattern. I'm scheduling a conversation for Saturday at 3 p.m. If we can't create change together, I'll need to make changes independently. That one line does three things. It names the issue intimacy. It sets a time, Saturday, 3 p.m., and it makes your position clear. If we don't fix this together, I will act alone to protect myself. Then you watch her reaction. This is your exit recognition framework. If she responds with concern, curiosity, and a willingness to collaborate, there's something to work with. If she says, okay, I know this is a problem, let's talk. I don't want you hurting like this. That's a partner. If she responds with defensiveness, mockery, gaslighting, or blame, you're obsessed with sex. You're making things up. If you were more helpful, I'd want you. You have your answer. That's not ignorance. That's indifference to your starvation. That meets the clinical pattern of psychological manipulation. From there, the 90 days have phases. Immediate phase. Remove the chronic stressor. That might mean separate sleeping if sharing a bed with a cold body keeps triggering you. It might mean emotional detachment while you calmly prepare to exit if nothing changes. You stop begging, stop hinting, stop trying to earn it. You act as a respectful co-parent or roommate while you rebuild your spine. Weeks 1 to 4, you treat your body like a recovery project. Your main goals are sleep and testosterone restoration. Go to bed at a consistent time. Dark, cool room. No blue light in your face late at night. Cut the alcohol that wrecks REM. Then you lift, not to look pretty for her. To tell your nervous system, we're not prey. 3 to 4 days a week of resistance training. Big movements, heavy enough to challenge you. Your body responds to iron with higher testosterone and lower baseline stress. Non-negotiable rule here: no pursuing, no chasing validation. You are not trying to impress her into wanting you. You are rebuilding you. Months 2 and 3, now you rebuild dopamine the right way. No more relying on porn, fantasy, or numbing out. You shift reward into achievement and brotherhood. Pick skills that matter: career moves, certifications, physical goals, business, something that gives you visible progress. Stack small wins daily, then plug into other men. Male social connection, training partners, groups, mentors. Feeds dopamine and oxytocin without putting your nervous system back under her thumb. Your brain needs to learn that reward exists outside her approval. If, during this time, she shows up in good faith, actually engages that scheduled talk, owns her part, shows consistent effort, then you test non-demand bonding rituals. 15 minutes a day. No phones, eye contact, talk, share, maybe light touch if it feels mutual. This is not, do this so I get sex. This is, let's see if there's emotional ground to rebuild on. If that holds, you can agree on weekly intimacy agreements. Not a rigid sex schedule, but a mutual commitment. We prioritize connection, including physical, every week. If something blocks it, we reschedule, not cancel for months. Core rule for the rest of your life. You never again stay in a dynamic where you have to negotiate, audition, or beg for basic intimacy. You don't argue for your right to oxygen. You either have a partner who wants to breathe with you, or you walk. I've seen men run this 90-day play and get two outcomes. Either their wife woke up, realized she was losing a man with a spine, and they rebuilt something real, or he walked out clear-headed, hormones stabilizing, identity back online. Your standards lead, your hormones follow, not the other way around. Here's the point. You're not needy. You're starving in a system that's been hijacking your hormones and identity. The choice is simple. Live as a pet waiting for treats, or as a man with standards. If this video just showed you the biochemical warfare you've been living in, drop 90-day boundary in the comments below. How long have you been in the sexless trap? What's your plan to get out? And if you need help implementing the 90-day counterattack, determining if your marriage can be saved, or rebuilding your hormones and identity after years of rejection, I offer private coaching sessions. Link is pinned in the comments and in the description. Commit to your 90-day boundary, hit subscribe, and then watch the video on rebuilding your frame next. Alpha Lens Mindset here. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp.